Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And you probably saw yesterday I posted a video about this through night catapult V6 that is my dog walking light. Love this thing for late night walks. And you might have noticed I had some knives laying out there. These are my dog walking knives. Actually, they're not anymore, but I'm going to go through that really quick to show you kind of the progression of these purpose-driven pocket knives. Now, I started out with this one. I would carry this all the time for dog walking, and this is a Benchmade Striker. It was a good, solid auto knife, and I found the blade you want definitely for dog walking, a serration at some point to cut wet rope, wet leashes, whatever. But this was a little risky if I needed it. This was more a defensive dog walking knife. So I moved to this guy. This is a Benchmade Presidio, but it was a little bit heavy. But it taught me, you know, again, I want more of a drop point blade, and I need to consider some safety. I thought about this guy for a little bit. This is actually a Benchmade dive knife. This particular one has a kind of a muted tip on it. So there's less chance if you have to get in close, but you might notice there's no serrations, which also makes it a pretty bad dive knife, since cutting fishing line or nets or something when you're diving is a real hazard. So then I went to this for a while. This is the Benchmade Barrage, and I really like this knife. It does have plastic handles, not G10. They don't make a G10 handle for this version of it. There's a new version that does have a G10, and I don't want to spend $100 on some custom ones. But it does have a nice blade, very usable. But what I realized is I didn't want to use it hard for things, you know, like cutting sticks, breaking off twigs, things I might want to throw. So as great as it was, I ended up using something more like this, which is a kind of the old school griptilian, and I just beat on this thing and it just keeps on going. This has actually got pretty good steel on it, this particular one. If you look, this has S30V steel instead of the standard 154 cm. I really like this thing. So it got a lot of mileage on it. Then I went to a little bit smaller one. Again, this is a small Benchmade. This one also has, if you look close, right about, see if you can see that there, the S30V steel up in the corner. Real solid, but I think the blade is a little too short. So what do I use today? That's where this guy comes in. This is my Benchmade Catapult. If they had this in an orange handle, it came in black and green basically. Maybe there's a tan one too, but I wish it came in orange. And what I've discovered, especially recently, is one, I need an auto knife. And I can have those here in Montana. They're totally legal. And the reason I want an auto knife is I'm probably grabbing something. Maybe I've got a dog that's caught, or maybe I have a leash or a rope, whatever, and I need to be able to open the knife fast, one-handed, especially with gloves, because it's getting pretty cold out. So this allows me to flick it open. This has a D2 steel, which is pretty good. It's not really a super steel, it's more of a tool steel. Plenty good for dog walking. Has a nice big chunk of serration there. And in fact, there's no straight part. If you look at the serration, it immediately goes up to the curve. A little bit of a sharp point, but not ridiculous. And I like the smaller handle with the guards, especially if I can't feel things because it's pretty cold. That's kind of what I learned about these. This one here, I've had my hand slip up a little bit on it. This one, it's got a small handle. You can see the profile is actually smaller than this, much smaller than something like that, which allows me to grab something really tight here, and there's a big relief difference, a distance difference as I move out into the guard. So that was important, especially with wearing gloves. So it's also got a nice big old button. You might notice it's a lot bigger than this Striker here. This requires this slide rather than a button. And this one's not an auto, this one's an assist. So you have to free the blade up to get it to start, whereas this is a full auto with a big thing. I can index it right there. I can usually feel that through my glove, you know, and then hit the blade. and then I've got something ready to go with a smaller handle, especially with gloves, because obviously if you had a big handle and a glove, it's even bigger. But anyway, that's where I've dialed in my knife for dog walking at the moment. So again, another purpose-driven tool. If you've got a particular tool, especially something like this that you might think is optimum for a situation, let me know, because I'm always interested in learning more. But that's where I'm at right now. And with that, Doc out.